As you can see, like on Facebook, this kinds of messages. On LinkedIn, if you type something related to your field, like let's say data science, you're gonna see applications, you're gonna see, okay, you need advanced level of English, you need C1, you need C2. Like everywhere you see English, English, English. This message alone, someone messaged me and said, you know, like I'm unemployed right now, and I think like English would be a massive plus for my, you know, career building for my CV, and she's not wrong. The biggest concern I hear about professionals who want to master English is that they feel limited and they feel like they have opportunities coming their way and they are not confident enough to say yes because they feel frustrated, they are not fluent, and if this is you, I understand because so many students of mine tell me this. They're like, I have opportunities coming my way and I cannot say yes. I don't feel like I have personal freedom. And so you're gonna wanna watch the entire video because I'm gonna give you tips and steps so that you can go from feeling limited, frustrated to confident and fluent. So stay tuned. Hello, it's me, Francisca from English to Thrive, English Confidence Mentor. You can follow me here on Instagram. And I am so excited about this video because, as I said, the number one thing that I hear among professionals is like, I want to feel confident and fluent when I speak English because otherwise I'm not being able to access more career opportunities. Okay, so before I give you the tips, subscribe to the channel if you're excited, give it a like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're reminded that every Friday I release videos on English confidence for ambitious professionals. Now, the tips that I'm going to talk about are all about fluency and confidence because you need both to be able to feel ready to say yes to more opportunities and having personal freedom. I'm going to tell you a little story. I recently did an interview, in my hometown in Quito, and one of my students interviewed me, and before I was going to go to the interview, I felt nervous. Like days before, I felt nervous, I felt anxious, I felt like I had imposter syndrome. And if you don't know what imposter syndrome is, it's like you can be an expert, you can be brilliant, but still you feel nervous and you feel like, what am I doing here? Like, who am I to be doing this, you know? And that's a common feeling. As you can see on the screen, I got like all my power, all courage, and then I did the interview and it was an amazing experience. But what would have happened if I would have said no? If I would have let my fears and my nervousness win, I would have never done an interview that made me feel super confident and made me tell my story as a depression and anxiety survivor and made me be on TV to reach even more people who want to master English and who want to feel more confident, who want to achieve more personal freedom. As someone who also has done a master's degree abroad in England, I remember the weeks before I started my master's degree and even before I even jumped in a plane, I couldn't sleep for days. I was like, am I ready for this experience? And I really wasn't, but it became the best year of my life. I gained so much personal freedom. It was the first time that I was living by myself. I was studying something that I loved in English. And I felt ready to travel all over Europe. And it was just, every time that I remember about it, it's just so exciting for me. I want it for you too. So how do you start? This is tip number 1. Now, first tip is around professional interviews. In professional interviews, one can feel nervous and one can feel maybe a little bit of pressure, because I understand when someone wants to get to a goal, one's excited, right? And it's okay, but there are a few tactical things that you should know as well. So obviously, practice makes perfect in any skill if you want to speak English fluently as a native and if you want to excel in your professional interviews, okay? And what you have to know is that you have to be prepared because it's like when you're going to an exam, right? You're not going to go and hope that it's going to be okay if you haven't studied or if you haven't prepared. Same with interviews. So you have to be prepared to listen to a few keywords or a few phrases. So one of the questions that you could be asked is like, what are your salary expectations? Like, how do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what's your vision in your role in the company? Or like, what are your values? Or, you know, because they want to know that you're going to contribute positively to the company, and that your values and theirs are going to be aligned. So don't improvise. Research, journal on it a little bit, and know your worth and know what you bring to the table. Something that's very important is that, yes, you prepare your answers, but also you do a little bit of improvisation, because if you memorize answers, then it's going to sound robotic, it's not going to sound natural, and it's going to affect your confidence as well. And remember that everything that you are, you're like a mirror, you know, or the other person is a mirror for you. So if you feel like too nervous or like you want to do everything perfectly, then the other person is going to know that, and the conversation is not going to flow. So again, have a balance between practice and research, but also improvisation. So yeah, you should know your answers more or less, but do not overthink, because that's going to make you feel nervous. And as far as nerves, we're going to talk a little bit about confidence in a little bit, but you can always frame nerves as excitement, okay? So embrace the discomfort, and when you feel nervous about something, it's because it's important, okay? So do not feel shame or do not feel bad if you feel that way. Validate those feelings and just do the damn thing. Okay, so as I said, practice makes perfect. So apart from like knowing which kinds of questions you're gonna be asked, it's also important that you kind of like practice with some mock interviews. So what are mock interviews? It's like rehearsal interviews. Maybe you can ask a friend to interpret like the role of the interviewer, so that you can kind of like experience or visualize what's gonna happen beforehand. So whenever I'm gonna have sales calls, you know, because I have a business, I always try and imagine the situation and imagine the goal, okay? So it's like I'm imagining that I'm closing a new client. So you can also imagine that you're doing well in your interview, that you're passing the interview, you're getting the job. But remember not to be attached of the outcome, because you can do the best that you can. But if at the end you're not selected, it's not all about you. So do not feel bad, and try and detach yourself from the outcome as well. Now, of course, if your interviewer speaks English, you have to be prepared of certain slang that they may use, or everyday phrases. You know, at our company, we like to think outside the box. Let's say that it's a marketing company and you're gonna play a part on creativity, like content marketing and creation and all that. You know, they say, we like to think outside the box. Like, are you creative? Do you like to think outside the box? Like, what could you contribute creatively to the role? And you're like, if you don't know that phrase, you, first of all, you're not gonna be able to understand. You'll feel blocked and you'll feel nervous, okay? And so it's very important that you're prepared for certain everyday expressions that they may use, okay? So that, first of all, if you understand, you feel confident and you can respond confidently as well. Talking about that, I have an exercise that one of my students used in an interview, and he got this comment right here. He felt confident, he was praised by his recruiter, and there was a huge win for him. And so that, I would want that for you as well. So I have an everyday imitation audio that you can download now, with everyday phrases that are going to make you feel confident. You can use in conversations and in professional interviews as well. Let's say that as well, your recruiter says something like, you know, we don't like to give too many tasks, you know, to the role. So like, it's important for us to not, you know, bite off more than we can chew, which means like to not like become overwhelmed and to not have like many tasks, because then the work's not going to be efficient. So again, you have to be prepared. And the last thing that you would want is not understanding. By the way, I've created an amazing video about understanding native language, you know, and speak like a native. You can check it out right here. And also a video where you can learn also everyday phrases to sound assertive and professional. And you can check it out right here as well. And talking about understanding natives, this leads us to tip number 2, which is be prepared for, you know, hearing and listening a different pronunciation, okay? So it's not the same an English learner pronouncing that a native English speaker pronouncing. So let's say that your interviewer is from the US, okay? And there are certain things or habits that of pronunciation of like Americans and British. So Americans tend to link words a lot. So instead of asking you like, what are your salary expectations? It would say like, what are your salary expectations? You know, they bring it a lot faster. And also, for example, there are certain formulas, like if they would ask, you know, did you have a positive experience in your previous company? You probably hear things like, do you have a, right? Instead of did you, it would be like, do you have a positive experience, you know? And so if you're not training your ears to hear these kinds of formulas, then you're not going to be able to understand, and you're going to, you know, either commit into like filler words like or you're going to feel blocked, or you're going to feel nervous, you know. So start being aware of these little formulas like did you, or do, you know, do you, and stuff like that. And you can learn, I created a whole training on pronunciation that you can check right here. And this is gonna help you a lot to understand how natives pronounce, so that you can be prepared, you know, in sound and phonetically. Now, part of these formulas also have to do with fast speech, okay? And an exercise that can help you is shadowing. And I have a whole video just on this technique. You can check it out right here. Shadowing is something that you listen and you repeat. So you can search for an audio. So let's say that you are an, you know, at IT, like you work in IT, or an IT director in a certain area. And so you put like IT, you know, and you listen to the audio and then you repeat it just as soon as you listen. And what this is gonna do is make you think more in English, and it's gonna make you speak faster. Now, I'm extra generous today, so you can also download a shadowing audio that you can practice with, so that you can think more in English and you can be prepared for sounds in English speaking scenarios for your next career experience. Now, we've already talked about two things that are related with like English language, but as you know, my formula is action plus practice plus discomfort minus grammar, which means that you don't have to be fixated only on grammar. You don't have to be perfect on grammar to be able to feel confident speak English. Now, we are going to go to two tips that are related more with confidence than language, because it's so important that you build inner confidence as well, okay? Especially if you want to like access a new reality, a new career opportunity in an English speaking scenario. Now, before I reveal the last two tips, let me know, are you looking for like a career opportunity in English, maybe in Canada, in the US? Write your experience below, right? If you have had, you know, experience in interviews, let me know so that I can give you some extra tips. Right, so the third tip, and this is probably, I think, one of my, if not my favorite, it's taking massive imperfect action. What the hell is that? Okay, so I was studying a course from a mentor that I love from Canada. And by the way, it's such a privilege to be able to understand everything a native English speaker says, because you have more access to more tools, educational tools, and everything that's related. When you want to access like any opportunity, you're gonna feel nervous, okay? And your brain is gonna wanna protect you. You know, you're gonna feel afraid, you're gonna feel, it's everything, first of all, everything's normal. It's okay that you feel like that. I remember when I was going to pass, you know, like an interview to apply for my master's degree in England, I was afraid, and I didn't know what to expect. And then when I was on my interview with what was going to be my professor, my tutor, so she did some tests in relation to translation and interpreting, and I remember like being with my notebook and worrying about being perfect. The truth is that lately I've realized that imperfect action is much better than no action at all. So what do I mean? Every time that, because I have a business, right, every time that I have a call with someone, I'm taking massive imperfect action because I don't know if that person's gonna say yes or no, you know? But I have confidence within myself that the more that I try, the more results I get. And that's the kind of state that you have to be in. Because of course, if you're worried about being perfect, you know, and you don't feel like you have advanced level, you're never gonna try. So the thing is, trying and taking action, and then perfecting your skills on the way. So I advise you, like, next time you're on LinkedIn, why don't you apply for a job that's in English? And even if you feel like you don't have the perfect level yet, do it. Because I love these comments from my students inside my program that they say that even if they make mistakes, now they speak more, now they participate more in, conversations at work in English. And that's what I want, because you're never going to be perfect. Even if you speak in your native language, you're never going to know all the words. If you want to access an opportunity, you're never going to feel completely ready. So I challenge you to start taking massive imperfect action. Even if you feel nervous, participate in more conversations in English, and do things that make you feel scared. I know it sounds like, why would I want to feel scared? But it's true. When I was in the online world and I decided that I wanted to have an online business, I remember going live on Facebook. I was absolutely terrified, but that's what made me more confident. You also have to remember that it's a numbers game, right? So I know that when I'm going to have a conversation with someone, it can be a no. I mean, it can be like, okay, this person's not ready to enter my program. Or if you go on an interview, if you don't get it, it doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It's just a numbers game. And to be able to build resilience for rejections or the no's, because remember, the no's lead to a yes. So to be able to build that resilience, you have to start taking more action. Now, there's a practice that I learned from one of my mentors, and this is that credit goes to her, not me. It's called DNP, and she calls it daily negotiations practice, meaning that you ask questions, and if you get a yes, you get 1 point. If you get a no, you get 2 points. So then you would build resilience. And the thing is that if you go to 20 interviews, 30 interviews, who cares? When you get a yes, it's gonna feel so satisfying, and you're gonna feel proud of yourself. Now, I don't mean by any means that you lessen the result, the importance of results. Of course, you wanna pass, you wanna get that job. But the most important thing is that you feel confident no matter the result, and you start taking massive imperfect action. Because one of the sayings inside my program is action brings confidence. It's important. And by the way, if you want to know more about my program, if you want to book a call, and if you want to go from feeling limited, personally, professional, frustrated, to confident, fluent, then link is below. We can have a chat. Okay, so tip number 4 is building self-confidence, okay? So it's one thing that you know the language. There are many students that go to academies and they do everything perfectly. They have all the notation in their notebook, all the grammar stuff, but they're not living the language and they're not taking action. We already talked about massively perfect action. Now to think of knowing your worth and knowing that it is possible for you to speak English confidently and fluently. It may take time, but you can do it. And in relation to the career opportunities and the interviews and the English communication skills, what you can do is 2 activities that I love. One is journaling. You can journal with prompts like, what's your skill set, what's your genius zone, what you can contribute positively to the world. Those things are gonna make you self-analyze, and they're gonna make you feel like you can bring something to the table, so that when you go to the interviews, you already know what you can bring, and you already know your skill set. You already know your purpose, okay? Because one thing is going to any interview, but another thing is going to your dream career opportunity, okay? And if you don't know what you want to do, if you don't know your skill set, then how are you gonna conduct a good interview, right? So journaling is one thing, okay? So you can prime your mindset to know your worth, to know that this person will be incredibly lucky to have you, right? And second thing, a practice that I love is affirmations, okay? As you can see, one of my students is listening to her affirmations, and she's saying how these things change your mindset, and they prime you to be a confident and fluent speaker, and they prime you to change your way of living and actually living the language, Another comment of one of my students, I have so many comments, by the way, you can check out case studies and testimonials on my program below. He says how it makes sense to build confidence within first, and then to go into all the tactical things of language. When you believe in yourself, when you know your worth, you are not gonna self-sabotage in the interview, and you're not gonna lowball yourself, which means when they ask something like, what are your salary expectations? you're gonna put a number that feels good to you, okay? And you're not gonna like devalue yourself, you know? In no means like every number that you want is acceptable, but you have to know your worth, and that is a process that happens within. And you're probably thinking like, what does this have to do with language? I mean, everything, you know, because in order to have results, you have to believe you're gonna have those results. You have to believe in the process. You have to believe that you're gonna implement a system that will get you there. So journaling, some confidence affirmations, and also, like I said, action brings confidence, and that's an exercise that I've done with my students that is called speaking on the spot. And I put them like in different workplace scenarios so that they can be prepared and they can practice, you know, before they go into the workplace and before they start having that experience of working in English, okay? So speaking on the spot is an exercise that I created as a consecutive interpreter as well, because you listen to an audio and you have to respond in a limited amount of time, and that's going to make you increase fluency, and that's going to make you feel more self-confident. Yeah, this speaking on the spot exercise is going to build a lot of self-confidence because you're going to see how you can respond creatively to spontaneous conversations in English. All right, so let's do a little recap. So first thing, be aware of what you're going to be asked in professional interviews, right? Be aware of keywords, be aware of, you know, being prepared. Second thing is be aware of like pronunciation of your interviewer, the formula, so that you can be prepared beforehand phonetically, and you can feel less nervous as well when you're in the interview. And then third thing, taking massive perfect action. And of all the tips, I like advise that you prioritize this one 1,000%. And for building self-confidence through journaling and speaking on the spot and the affirmations. Okay, so simple 4 tips. So again, I advise that you not only watch this video, but you do the video. When I started implementing and following advice from mentors, my life changed. I want to change your lives too, so do it. All right, so I hope that you're excited that you've learned all this. I hope you implement it, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel because I release videos every week on English confidence for ambitious, tech-savvy professionals. If you've resonated with all of this, again, like the video so we can reach more people in the algorithm, and hit the notification bell as well. Okay, now, big time. I know that you're thinking sometimes, I can do this on my own, but if you do need mentorship, if you do need help, don't be shy. I have an incredible program where we tackle all of these things. You know, people come to me, they feel nervous, they feel anxious, they feel like they really want to access a new career opportunity in English. And so if that is you, you know, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like really, I mean, believe in yourself, and this could be your massive imperfect action. So click the link below, we can have a chat. And do not forget to download the Everyday Imitation Audio and the Shadowing Audio, because practice makes perfect. Okay, so do not forget to book a call if you do want to go from feeling frustrated, limited with your English communication skills, to absolutely confident and fluent. I'm waiting for you. Now, before you go, do not forget to check out this playlist on confidence building. It will complement the last 2 tips I talked about. You can check it out, I'll also link it below. And this video about thinking in English, this video did very well on my channel. It's gonna give you the base so you can warm up your brain, think more in English, and then become more fluent and confident so you can be an amazing professional in English. Okay, see you in the next video.